नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गुं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ गुं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ गुं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ शरवणभवाय नमः। ॐ शरवणभवाय नमः। ॐ शरवणभवाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते शिवानन्दाय। ॐ नमो भगवते शिवानन्दाय। ॐ नमो भगवते शिवानन्दाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ श्री दत्तात्रेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री दत्तात्रेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री दत्तात्रेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री आञ्जनेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री आञ्जनेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री आञ्जनेयाय नमः। ॐ श्री रामाय नमः। ॐ श्री रामाय नमः। ॐ श्री रामाय नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ श्री दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ श्री दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ श्री दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ श्री महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्री महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्री महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री महाकालिकायै नमः। ॐ श्री महाकालिकायै नमः। ॐ श्री महाकालिकायै नमः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सुमुखश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकलम्बोदरश्च वेदोऽग्निराजो गणाधिपः धूमद्गणाध्यक्षो बालचन्द्रो गजाननः। द्वादशेतानि यप्रेक्षिण्यादपि सर्वकारसमारम्भे विघ्नस्तस्य न जायते। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरुवे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्ते Vishpavinjaya Shandaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namaham Shandagaram Bhujagachanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadasham Mekhavarnam Shubhankam Lakshmi Kandam Kamalananam Yoga Hidyanagammyam Vande Vishnum Bhoveharam Sarvalokaikanadham Meghasyamam Viragavashayavasam Shivatsangam Kaustubodbhasadangam Punyabedam Pundarikaya Daksham Vishnum Vande Sarvalokaikanadham Sashingajakram Sagiridagundalam Sabiravastam Sarasiruhekshanam Sahara Vattastara Shubhigostubham Namami Vishnum Chirasajadabhujam Kasturi Dalagam Laladabalage Vattastale Gostubham Nazagre Namaktigam Karadale Venukare Ganganam Sarvange Harijandanam Sulegadam Kandejam Tavali Govastri Variveshtido Vijayade Alachudamani Asti Susternikaragrvasat Kalprasunapludam Vastu Prasuda Venuna Dilahari Nirvana Nirvyakulam Sastasasti Nibadhani Virat Gopi Sahasravudam Hastan Nastanabhur Makrodaram Kishwaragadihi Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagova Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nandanam Vasudevasya Nandagopasya Nandanam Yashoda Nandanam Vande Devaki Nandanam Sada Adu Devaki Devagarbhajane Gopi Grihe Vardhanam Maya Pujana Jivitavaranam Govardhanodharanam Kamsachetana Kauravadihananam Kundi Sudapalanam Edan Bhagavatam Puranagadam Shri Krishna Leelamritam Jaya Jaya Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jaya Jaya Krishna Vishnu Vamsha Pradibaham Jaya Jaya Megha Komala Shyamalangom Jaya Prithvi Bharanasho Mukunda Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shri Krishnanu Shri Krishna Sharanam Vasudeva Sharanam Narayana Sharanam Daso Gunta Keshava Om Namo Narayanaya 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 Daso Gunta Keshava. Just let us know. Few minutes tune ourselves to the Master's feet and let us draw knowledge and strength from him. Through his grace only we can get the knowledge. Dive deep into the silence and meditate upon his lotus feet. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Gunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhidamastu ma Vidyushavahai Om Shanti 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 Om. This is just straight on my face. If you can just put it away, I can see the people's face. Put it sideways. One, don't put on my face, just straight, a little bit up and down, but not on my face directly. Through the grace of our Divine Master Swami Shivananda, we are able to sit here and learn the ancient wisdom as by ancient masters in the same Gurukula system, Gurukula tradition. As you are already practicing yoga for so many years and teaching yoga, so yoga is not anymore new to you, nor the purpose of yogic life is also new to you. You are practicing and living that ancient tradition. In this advanced yoga teachers training course, we will cover up all the subjects which you already learned in the previous course, and also we are going to study different system of yoga philosophy, both theory and practice, along with intense physical, mental and spiritual practices. I think, conducted one course before, advanced teachers training course, and then one half of the middle of the course I withdrew for a year in seclusion. So this is the actual first time again, second time again, I'm going to give, with God's and Master's grace, a full, complete course. Your main textbook will be the meditation and mantras, where you see theory and practice about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Jnana, Raj Yoga, etc. Of course, we don't have yoga, advanced yoga teachers training manual for everybody, but you will be able to take notes, and using meditation mantras you will be able to get the full details. Our course starts with Jnana Yoga meditation and Vedantic theory. When we talk about Vedanta, we always come to the oldest and first book ever came to human mind. That first knowledge called Vedas. These Vedas supposed to have come from the mouth of the creator Brahma, during the previous cosmic night. Brahma was in deep slumber. He himself is withdrawn by the force of time in the substratum, that is Lord Vishnu's navel, symbolically speaking, and symbolically in the navel of Lord Vishnu there is the lotus, represents the hidden energy into that cosmic lotus, the great creator Brahma himself forced to withdraw and rest in deep, deep cosmic sleep, cosmic nidra. During that time, all the nature that is made up of three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, this nature is in equilibrium. At that time, there is no knowledge, no time, space, causation. That's the time Vedas also existed only in the memory of that great creator Brahma, who is also in deep sleep. Just like the knowledge you acquire is still there even when you are sleeping, but you are not aware of it until you wake up. You can bring that knowledge only when you are in waking state. In the deep sleep state, whatever the knowledge you possess, whether it's geometry, philosophy, mathematics, music, all this knowledge is hidden in the man who is in deep sleep, but only he can bring it back, this knowledge, when he wakes up from the sleep state. Same with Brahma too. In the cosmic night, everything is in standstill, like your deep sleep. At least during your deep sleep, some others may be in waking state or dream state. When you are having darkness here in other parts of the world, there is light, day. That's not the situation. Here there is no place where there is day or night. Time or space is only stillness, stillness, absolute stillness. And as the cosmic night slowly about to finish its course, at the dawn of the present world, the dawn, the Brahma wakes up just like you and we are forced to wake up due to our karma. We cannot sleep whole night and go on day and night we can sleep. So after several hours we are forced to wake up. Same thing Brahma also, due to the time power of the Lord Vishnu, he himself is forced to wake up from his deep slumber, cosmic slumber, at the beginning, the dawn of the present creation, or the dawn of the previous cosmic night. The forces which were in equilibrium, the three forces of Rajas and Tamas, suddenly is been activated like a tulip bulb being activated at the beginning of the spring. The tulip bulb was in deep sleep, in a suspended state during the whole winter. So also now the tulip bulb has been activated, its energy, and soon that bulb is going to shoot out, small shoot, and then eventually it will wound up to come up in the form of a tulip flower with colors, beauty and so on. Same way, that hidden nature, the Shakti, like the tulip flower, now became active, just like our morning, the equilibrium of the three gunas, qualities of nature, sattva, rajas and tamas, purity, rajas, activity, tamas, inertia. These three qualities of the nature no more in a state of equilibrium, and there comes tremendous oscillation, vibration. And due to interaction of these three qualities, there the Shakti is separated, and Brahma is able to see the universe yet to come, just like in a dream, only in the thought state. It exists only in the thought. But still he cannot even see even that, the universe. He forgotten the previous creation. He forgotten everything what he did. Like you have amnesia, forgetting the past. So Brahma also has got a cosmic amnesia in the beginning. He doesn't know what his purpose is, what his duty is, what he is supposed to do. But he sees something, a vague recollection, but still it's not very clear at all. As the Shakti starts activated and its intensity is increased, he is also having inner urge to find out, first of all, his own substratum, the source where he has come from. He must have a source somewhere. And he looked, there's only cosmic night, cosmic pralaya, there's nothing there. Neither sun, nor stars, not galaxies, not moon, not sun. Neither up, not down. But he visualized himself seated on a lotus, symbolically representing the energy. And he wants to find out where he has come from and what is his purpose and what he has to do. Still he has got no idea. As Shakti is not completely manifested, his mind is still in a very, just like a man who just came out of the sleep, yet he doesn't know where he is, which place he is. In that situation, Brahma went on searching his root. That is the Lord Vishnu, that's the root, but he didn't know. He went on searching. He went on to the stalk, symbolically again, and thousands of years he traveled, yet he could not find the beginning. He came back again, sat in deep meditation, did pranayama to create the Shakti. As he did intense penance and pranayama, there comes the word he heard, Akashic word in his inner ear, tapa, penance, do penance. So went on doing penance thousands of years, and he saw the world yet to come and what type of world he is going to start creating, like an architect. Saw the building he is going to build. Same way in his cosmic mind, he saw the cosmic universe, the previous cosmic universe he created, which has been dissolved now, and the new one is going to come up. What type of manifestation is going to be. So from that cosmic vision, he saw the substratum, he prayed and saw the Lord Vishnu, and from that he created the world, and the four Vedas come. That is the knowledge, original knowledge. Vedas are the original knowledge. So from his mouth, the Vedas came, the universe came, and so the knowledge. So the knowledge, the Vedas are not just created, it existed before. Like the gravity. Gravity was not invented by Newton. He discovered, even he knew, even before he discovered the gravity was there. only we realize its existence through the neutral. Same way, these Vedas were there before, but through the mouth of Brahma and through his first initiation into this Vedic knowledge, we are able to again receive in this present creation, present day. And again this universe will dissolve, and Brahma's cosmic net himself will be withdrawn, every knowledge will be withdrawn back, and Brahma will rest again and in his cosmic sleep by the force of Vishnu Maya, the Maya of the Lord Vishnu. And this way the universe evolve and dissolve in a way that we can grasp intellectually. But whatever I said and whatever you understood intellectually still is not what that cosmic evolution, that cosmic dawn, that cosmic energy, Shakti, Maya, is beyond, far beyond our comprehension. But like a kindergarten children, we had to talk about this original state. So we use simple language and stories like lotus, like creator, like gunas, qualities, etc. We explain, but still it is far beyond our comprehension about what is evolution, what is dissolution, what is Brahma, what is creator, what is Vishnu, what is Shakti, far beyond our understanding. Even we cannot even dream of what the Vedas or knowledge. So with that understanding, without a simple introduction, we go to our first lesson, the Vedanta. Vedanta is the last portion of the Vedas where the knowledge comes. The other portion of the Vedas, there are various types of karma kanda, etc., where the rituals and the sacrifices, various types of havans and homas to attain heaven and enjoying the heavenly pleasures by pleasing various gods or angels in the heaven. But Vedanta is the end, where there is no more duality. We want to transcend all duality and the infinite oneness with the Supreme. That is the end of Vedas, called Vedanta. You can open your meditation mantras. I need also a book of the meditation mantras. Jnana Yoga Meditation and Vedantic Theory, page 98. A Jnana Yogi sees Atman everywhere through his eye of wisdom. There is absolutely no personal elements in him. There is no thought of the self. He has not a bit of selfish interest. The lower self is completely annihilated. He lives for serving all. He feels the world as his own self. He actually feels that all is himself only. There is not a single thought or feeling for a personal little self or little ego. He has cosmic vision and cosmic feeling. Just as the river has joined the ocean, He has joined the ocean of bliss, knowledge and consciousness. He thinks and feels and works for others. Swami Shivananda, Vedanta in daily life. Jnana Yoga is one of the four main paths of yoga. Jnana means wisdom, and Jnana Yoga is the intellectual approach to spiritual evolution or realization. Through inquiry and analysis, the mind itself is used to examine its own nature. Jnana Yoga is said to be the most difficult path, not because it is superior to any other path, but because one must be firmly grounded in each of the other yogic disciplines before attempting Jnana Yoga. There must be a strong base of selfless service, serving humanity without thought of personal gain, and love of God or deep yearning to merge with the Absolute. One must also have a strong, healthy body, control of the vital energies, and control of the mind before it's possible to actually use the mind as a vehicle to transcend this world of ignorance. That is why Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama of the Raja Yoga system and Hatha Yoga system are essential to practice Jnana Yoga. In fact, that Hatha Yoga discipline will give you the strength and stamina to transcend this body consciousness. You must remove the body idea, and that is not possible as long as you are having pain, sickness, disease, and the vital energy, the prana, uncontrolled pranic energy moving irregularly in all the 720,000 nadis. All this energy must be drawn and concentrated and must be brought to one nadi or sushumna. So that's why we see Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all are interrelated to understand the philosophy and transcend all these 5 sheets which we'll be learning soon. For without these preliminary disciplines, there will not be strength or discernment or to stay on this path. Easy to be confused, tempted and led astray by the illusion of the world and the working of the mind. It is a synthesis of all yogas that round out of the imbalance of life. Without the integration, there is the risk of becoming a dry intellectual from too much book learning. Merely practicing Jnana Yoga without the discipline make you a dry intellectual philosopher without having any practical value. And also there's a danger of becoming an intellectual egoistic person. The ego has been withdrawn from the physical sheath, but now that ego will be brought into identification with the intellect or the intellectual sheath, which you already know. The 5 sheaths, the physical sheath, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, the vital sheath, the Manomaya Kosha, the emotional sheath, the intellectual sheath, that is the 4th sheath. And so by mere dry philosophy can bring you only to this stage, and you are stuck in that intellectual sheath forever without proper discipline and proper control. So that's why Jnana Yoga is not given to everybody Vedanta philosophy until and unless they are ready to open their life, open their mind to the higher consciousness. Jnana Yoga is a path of evolution towards spiritual realization. It employs and incorporates different methods to achieve these ends, but its main tool is Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta is a body of knowledge based on ancient text. The practice of Jnana Yoga involves inquiry into the nature of the world by putting to use the teaching of Vedanta. Inquiry. And the question is, important question Jnana Yogins or Vedanta asks is, who am I? That's inquiry. If there's a question, who am I? That's a central question. Next question, where do I come from? Then next question is, where do the I go? This I came only just now. This I do not have any past. Just came in the middle now, and it also will disappear at the end. Then you don't have to inquire to find the who am I. But we know all. This I, this personality, this consciousness in me is not because the existence of this physical sheath or physical body, which I got through my parents, and again it's been brought up through the food I eat. That food is changing into this body every day. And my cells are multiplying because I feed these cells with nourishment, with foods, proteins, with carbohydrates and so on. So what the consciousness then I is this body or something else, just called who am I? Am I this body, when I say, or something else? But we know I can't be this body. This body was not here about 54 years ago. Swami Vishnu's body came only 1927. So before 1927, this physical body, visible form which is sitting in front of you, wasn't here. Then where was this I, the consciousness in me? Was this consciousness just created only at the time of my birth or at the time of consumption, my mother conceived? Or was it there? So the who am I inquiry will lead you to find this I, this consciousness, that pure consciousness which is in me is not born, nor the product of any creation, nor it exists only in certain time. So where this I came, it was always there, and it will be always there in the future when this body drops off. So inquiry is the main method used in Vedanta philosophy. Inquiry, intellectual inquiry. But it is not a dry intellectual inquiry. There is practical meditation. When the student is ready and prepared through sama, dhamma, etc. of the Vedantic discipline, like yama and niyama in Raja Yoga, in Jnana Yoga is called sama, dhamma, etc. Same. And through the service of the teacher, through inquiry, through discipline, and slowly, the disciple is ready to receive this initiation. And at that time, like a hairstalk, a huge hill of hair, dry hair, one spark can immediately ignite the entire hair stalk. Same way, his entire self is now enveloped with this wisdom, fire of wisdom, knowledge. I am that I am. Aham Brahmastu. So at that time, and the teacher says, that thou art, tat tvamasi. Disciple immediately understand, who am I? Yes. He understood, I am not this body. I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. So when the teacher says, tat tvamasi, the disciple realizes, Aham Brahmasmi. And that through inquiry. So before that inquiry, so many disciplines are there. So it's an intellectual approach toward this state. Vedanta literally means end of the Vedas. But Vedanta is based on the teaching of the Upanishad, which form the concluding section of the Vedas. The Vedas are the most ancient scriptural texts, not only of India, but there is nothing ever came before these Vedas. And also Vedas are not written originally, it was only sung. And later on scripts came and noted. The Vedas are the most ancient scriptures. Their origin is unknown, but it is said that they were given through inspiration to the holy men who sat meditating upon God. From Brahma it comes through the line of disciples, and through our own teachers we get this. There are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. Underline that and make it notes of this. You must note all this. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is mostly related to black arts and black magics and so on. The Veda deals with questions and commentaries on the world and the nature of the reality. That is about the Rig Vedas, essence of it deals with questions and commentaries on the world and the nature of reality. That is Satchidananda and the world. The Yajur Veda lays down all the rituals and sacrifices and the rules for performing them. Is also a discourse on the mantras, or the mantra shastras. Everything comes from the Yajur Veda. The Sama Veda gives all knowledge on theory and practice of music and singing. The Atharva Veda deals with magic and the black arts. Each of these Vedas is divided into 4 sections. Each Veda has got 4 sections there. The first is Mantra Samhitas, which are the hymns in praise of God. That's the first section. The second section, the Brahmanas, are guides for performing sacrifices and pronouncing the mantras. It's called Brahmana, section called Brahmana. The third is Aranyakas, which are the mystical books that give the philosophical interpretation, the rituals. And the Upanishad, which comes the essence or knowledge portion of each of the Vedas. We are dealing with the Upanishad portion of the Vedas. So that's called Vedanta, means the 4 sections are there in each Veda. And first is the Mantra Samhita, then Brahmanas, then Aranyakas, and then last is Upanishad or Vedanta. That's the Upanishads. So Upanishad is the knowledge which deals directly about the self. The philosophy of Vedanta is composed of the teachings of all the various Upanishads, which are still known to man. So Upanishads are the source for Vedanta for us. It's also one of the 6 major systems of Indian philosophy. There are 6 systems of philosophy we'll be learning soon, and Vedanta is one of the 6 systems where the philosophy is only dealing with non-dual Brahman. There is nothing else except Brahman. There are other philosophies that are dualistic, then special various types of philosophies exist, Sankhya's and so forth, which we'll be discussing soon. So Upanishad is one of the 6 systems of philosophy we are going to deal now. That is the essence, and that philosophy only can bring you complete satisfaction to your intellect. All other philosophy, it gives satisfaction to emotions or to your various other mental and psychological system. But Vedanta philosophy can only give the absolute intellectual satisfaction. There is no other philosophy exists in this universe which can satisfy any type of intellectual man. As you see that man is not always evolved with pure intellect. So all of us have the intellectual capacity to understand, to reason, but this has been tainted by emotions and by our understanding of the universe through our own physical senses. To understand the Vedanta, we need pure reason. Ordinary reason we use to make a living, how to satisfy the senses and how to make a living and how to conquer others. That's impure reason. Reason associated with the emotions like lust, anger, greed, hatred, jealousy, envy, fear. That reason is not sufficient to understand the Vedanta. But once the intellect is pure, many great professors of the West, like Professor Max Muller, etc., they are able to understand how great this Vedantic philosophy is. Indian philosophy can be divided into 6 categories or schools. This is called 6 schools of philosophy, each of which was developed by a particular sage or wise man, a rishi. He promulgated to his disciples, who then passed it on these 6 systems. These 6 systems are, first, underline Purva Mimamsa, that's the first school of philosophy, founded by Jaimini Maharshi. Jaimini, that is the founder of this particular system, and through his disciples we get this system of philosophy. Jaimini prescribes rituals to involve and placate the gods and attain heaven. Dharma and adharma are righteous and unrighteous object actions create the world, which is based on reward or punishment. That's called Purvamamsa of Jaimini. Is purely karma kanda, rituals only. There is no self-realization or God realization. Here, if you do certain specific rituals with specific mantras and invoke various gods and please them, then you can go and live with them in the heaven. That's called dharma. And if you are unable to follow this dharma, you become adharma, unrighteousness, which will bring you to the hell. This is more or like the philosophy of the present Christianity. By following good action, you go to heaven and live eternally, and bad action, you go to hell. So there is a relationship between the present Christian philosophy and the Jaimini's righteousness and unrighteousness, dharma. So the whole purpose of life is to please God and be a good boy, a good man. So he will get his grace from him. That's Jaimini's philosophy. He taught various types of rituals, havans and homas to please various types of gods, Yama, Varuna, Indra, different types of angels there. And they just go and live in that celestial regions after death according to their merit and enjoy celestial pleasures. That is their goal. That is the first Purvamimamsa. Uttaramimamsa, the second, founded Maharishi Vyasa, is pure non-dualistic Advaita Vedanta. It states that all is Brahman or unmanifested God, and everything else which appears to exist only a projection of the absolute Brahman is also the basis of Jnana Yoga. That will be the thing which we will be discussing more. Non-dualistic philosophy. Third, Sankhya by Kapila Rishi differs from Vedanta in that it is dualistic. That is, it achieves a separation between matter called Prakriti and spirit called Purusha. The material world, Prakriti, is seen as the creation and interaction of the three gunas or qualities, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, purity, activity and inertia. That's the difference between Sankhya and Jnana. In Jnana Yoga, Vedanta, which we'll be discussing thoroughly now, soon, is only absolute Brahman. There's nothing but Brahman. If there is other than the Brahman you see, is because of illusion, like a snake in a rope called superimposition. We'll be learning that, Adhyaropa. Superimposition. You see in the darkness a snake, but there is only rope exists. Because of lack of light, you misunderstood, you mistook the rope for a snake. But even after mistaking the rope for a snake, that rope did not change into a snake at any time. Rope remains always a rope. Yet your vision says it is a snake. But the rope did not change into a snake. Same way, the universe is Brahman, always. But because of Maya, the illusion, we see the universe, the Brahman as universe, like the rope as snake. And when once this illusion has gone, when the light comes and when the light is projected on the rope or on the snake, thinking it is snake you are trying, and the light was brought, suddenly your illusion has gone. You see the reality, the truth. Oh, it is a rope. So when the light came, it's not that at that time that light changed the snake into a rope. The rope remains rope all three periods of time, past, present and future. Past, it was a rope. Present, you saw as a snake, because of lack of light, still the rope did not change into a snake. Only your ignorance, your experience says it is, your experience say it is a snake, but not in reality. And once the light came, your illusion has gone, vanished. Illusion of the rope is, of the snake vanished, but not the rope is changed from snake into rope again. So three periods of time, past, present and future, the reality remains the same. That is the rope. Past, it was rope. Present, when you saw it as a snake, still it is rope. Future, when the light comes and when your ignorance gone, still it will be only a snake, a rope. The rope remains the same. So Vedanta says, Jnana Yoga, this universe what we see is only a superimposition of Brahman. Just like this snake is a superimposition on the snake, on the rope. Same way, when this universe appears to be as universe separate from you and me, heaven, hell, etc., angels and you and me, all this only an ignorance, illusion. Due to ignorance or illusion you see. this word for ignorance, in Christianity you call it original sin, a closest you can come to the Western term. But that is only because of identification with this physical universe and physical body. That's the original cause of all sin. Because if you don't identify with this body, there's no sin. A man who is in the dream or who is sleeping, or even the dream, let us take a man who is dreaming, he shot a man or he killed a man. When he wakes up, he is not punished for that action. So that action disappears when he wakes up from the dream. Same way, a man who is sleeping, another example is, there was a gun, real gun, he pulled the trigger, and the gun was shot, and killed, and the gun is discharged and then kills a person. He was not aware of it, he was in sleep, but his hand pulled it accidentally. Yet, though the body performed, he is not considered to be a murderer. Yes, he is not there behind that action. So what is the cause of the sinful action or even virtuous action is identify I am this body. And the moment you identify I am this body, that's the original sin. From that onwards we are bound by karma. So Christianity also brings the same almost, but they did not explain properly. So original sin is identification with the body in a science. So we call it ignorance. Because of ignorance, we identify with this body and all this phenomena and frightened, just like when you saw a rope. Merely a harmless rope frightened you because of your own illusion. It is not that rope has created anything to you. There was no snake. Because of your imagination, and you created a fear in you because you thought it is snake. You did not see its reality. And this fear will last as long as you are identifying not with the reality but with the illusory snake. Only the fear will disappear from you. You will walk and step over that rope. The moment you realize it is not a snake, it is just a piece of rope. So you boldly walk over. That is the Vedanta philosophy. But in Sankhya Yoga, is dualistic. There are two things are there, Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is the nature made up of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. In Vedanta we can closely relate it as Maya Shakti. So Prakriti is the nature. This universe is made up of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. But there is a Purusha independent of this Prakriti nature, this universe. And so there is Purusha, the creator, and there is Shakti, the created. Two things. But in Vedanta, there is no Prakriti or Purusha. It's only Brahman. Only due to illusion you think it is universe. That's the universe independent of the Brahman. That's the main difference between Sankhya and Vedanta. Make this very clearly. Note this very difference between Sankhya and Vedanta. Dualistic Purusha and Prakriti and Vedanta. Then fourth is Yoga of Patanjali. That's Raja Yoga Sutras we will be learning. Is a practical system of concentration and control of the mind. For it is the mind which creates all illusion. It's similar to Vedanta, but suggests the Purusha, the Brahman, is untouched by karma or time, is the cause of creation. Patanjali Yoga Sutra sees chapter on Raja Yoga or the essence of Raja Yoga, although yoga means union, actually applies to broad range of disciplines. Now here, Patanjali's system is a mixture of Jnana Yoga and Sankhya Yoga. Patanjali says there is an illusion. There is a reality, seeming reality in this universe, but that is because of your mind. whether it's pain or pleasure, it's not exist beyond your mind. If there is a pain, it is in your mind. A man who sleeps and during the sleep his mind is absent temporarily. At that time, if he has lost $1 million in the stock market, he won't cry. Only when he comes up and realizes, oh yes, I lost $1 million. Even after waking up, still, if he is not told that he lost $1 million, he won't worry. Or if they told a wrong idea they gave, when his stock market has gone up, though it was a false information, but he will be happy. So the false information, his mind is glorified. Though it is not reality, he lost the money in the stock market, but he realized through his mind, yes, I won $1 million, though it's a false information, but yet it exists only in the mind. The happiness and pain and pleasure is not outside. The universe doesn't exist outside except in the mind. So husband-wife relationship is only exists in the mind. Today she is your wife, tomorrow she is wife of somebody else. The thought changes. The person did not change. Your idea changes. Oh, she is my wife today. I love you, honey. But tomorrow you change that attitude. You doesn't care about what happened. You don't care about what happened to her tomorrow because she is not your wife. So happiness, unhappiness, pain, pleasure, reality, unreality is a product of the mind. So Raja Yoga system teaches it is like the Sankhya Yoga, but mind is the cause of all problems. So they teach us the technique of transcending the mind. That is through Raja Yoga philosophy, which you will be also learning in this course thoroughly. Then comes Vaisheshika of Kannada Rishi. Present a material or scientific view of universe that all things are made up of basic units called atoms. This is proven to be unsatisfactory for scientists. Now know that the atom can be broken down indefinitely and ultimate essence of matter cannot be determined. That's only my commentary, but what I am talking about is what is the Vaisheshika says is that a theory of a modern scientist. It is a scientific philosophy. Everything is made up of matter. That is, originally scientists thought matter is been independent, is an inert object, is moved by another force, a divine force. When quantum theory came, no, matter is not an inert, matter is never quiescent, it is always constantly in motion. And the first scientists suggested that atom, the minutest particle they can see and understand through their scientific instrument, must be the beginning and beginning of all matter from which the universe has sprung. But even now they say atom can be broken into minutest particles, subatomic particles, etc. But still they will not be able to find out where is the end of this matter, how far they can divide and subdivide and continue to subdivide. How many times they subdivide these atoms, subatomic particles, they find something more and something more and something more. So the present theory is that though atom and subatomic particles can be broken and analyzed, they can never say when they are going to find the end of matter. So the Vaisheshika philosophy is literally a scientific approach towards to find the source of all knowledge, all things. But at present we know that is not going to satisfy. Scientific knowledge and scientific investigations can never absolutely bring complete satisfaction to any intellectual approach. And science also changes constantly. What 10 years ago few years ago, Newton said the law of gravity is changed by Einstein, is by special theory of relativity. So scientists also continuously changing their philosophy as the new knowledge comes about the matter. And matter will never reveal its ultimate secret, because intellect is a finite, and so that through the finite intellect we can never analyze and find out this way of inquiry. So this inquiry is scientific inquiry by Sheshika of Kannada Rishi. Then last is called sixth one is called Nyaya, founded by Godama Rishi, argues that God or Ishvara is responsible for the creation of the world. This is almost Christian theory too. God created this world. Christian and Judaism, they believe God created the world in 6 days and 7th day rested. He is the cause for all the creation. And a simple philosophy is sufficient to satisfy simple-minded people who have got no other inclination, who do not care about anything else. They got their family, their emotions, their children, their little money and bank balance, and they go to church or synagogue and temple and they put a couple of dollars. God created this universe and he must be good, and then he takes care of everything. They're simple-minded people. They just take this simple philosophy because they are able to understand only in this particular term. God created everything, and now let God do everything for his sake, and I am just a small tool in his hand. So this is the last one, Nyaya. The Vedantic thought of Uttaramimamsa, that is the second philosophy which you heard just now, challenges all other systems. Here is one philosophy which can challenge all other systems and establishes the reality. That's the Brahman. And he's got the capacity through the intellect directly to the source. That's why Uttaramimamsa of Vedanta are the greatest philosophy for intellectual approach, as well as for any advanced being who had a pure reason. All other philosophy, there is some fault. In dualistic philosophy, there is a fault. In scientific philosophy, there is a fault. In the in Nyaya and so forth, there is fault in everything. But when it comes to intellectual Uttaramimamsa, it can challenge and satisfy every type of mind. Doesn't matter how great they are, how advanced they are. The Vedantic thought of Uttaramimamsa challenges all other systems. It maintains that liberation cannot be attained by ritual, action, duty, or charity. That is the fundamental philosophy. How much you perform charity or Agnihotras and Havans and placard the gods, etc., it's not going to bring you salvation. Charity is a good action. It gives result. A good charitable action will bring you charitable type of happiness to you, peace and happiness in the heaven or in another world. But it will not bring you salvation. So Vedanta emphasizes na karmana na prajayadhana tyagena egena amadattva manasahu. That's the philosophy. Na karmana, not by virtuous action. Na karmana na prajaya, not by acquiring various types of progenies. Like I heard yesterday, one of the South African king died, and he has got 130 wives and 600 children. Well, still he died. With 130 wives and 600 children, he died. And of course, lots and lots of grandchildren, so of course you can imagine. And he is the oldest monarch ruled since Queen Victoria. Well, he died by the age of 82 or something like that, with 130 wives and 600 children. But Did he attain immortality? By marrying any amount of wives, still his body grows old and he has to, that body has gone to the earth to earth and ash to ashes. By ruling that 60 years, 70 years, it's just a flip, like a mosquito's life. It's gone. So Vedanta says, oh man, this type of kingdom you are ruling, children, wife, etc. cannot be. Na karmana praja dhanena. Not by acquiring wealth or position can bring you immortality. If that's how Howard Hughes will be a immortal being. So that by acquiring wealth you cannot attain this state. Na karmana dhyana tyagena igena mrittam. Then how are you going to attain that freedom, that immortality? Tyagena. Tyaga means by renouncing alone, renunciation of all actions, whether good or bad, whether acquire money or merit, renouncing all these actions, that only can bring you the ultimate happiness and freedom. Then there is no more, you are born in this cycle of birth and death. So Vedanta, it maintains that liberation cannot be attained by ritual action, I mean charitable action, duty or charity. Change is the law of this manifested universe. Even scientists, you ask, this matter appears to be stationary and permanent, but by analysis you know it is not stationary, it is not permanent, it is constantly changing. Constantly changing, moment by moment. For this moment by moment, we cannot see it or perceive it or even scientifically investigate how much. But scientists will say matter is in constant motion. They realize that. But you cannot stop this motion. Never, even for a moment. If the moment this activity change stops, the world will disintegrate. That motion itself, that change itself is the nature of this universe. The moment you stop that motion, that changes, world will not exist even for a second. Change is the law of the manifested universe. Because of this impermanence, it cannot be real. Brahman alone is real. The world of illusion is unreal, and the individual soul is nothing but Brahman itself. That is the basic Vedanta philosophy. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Nabara. That's the word. Literal translation of that, what is given there. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. Jagan Mithya, this universe is an illusion. Jivo Brahmaiva Navara. The individual is none other than the Supreme Soul. That is the fundamental philosophy of Vedanta. Again, Brahma Satyam, take the illustration of the snake and the rope. We will be hearing that again and again. This one analogy will be coming in the entire Vedanta. There are several other analogies like snake and the rope, but this is the main analogy we use throughout. So you always compare, whenever there is any doubt, just compare with this analogy of snake and the rope, superimposition. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. That rope, Brahman alone is real, the universe is unreal. That's not we are talking, universe doesn't exist. Just like when the rope is changed, is mistaken for the snake do exist for you. The snake is an illusion only when the light comes. Until the light comes, there is some reality to see that unreal snake. What's the reality? What's the reality? What's the reality? The rope. So although the universe is Brahman, but we cannot see the Brahman until we get that knowledge. So the universe is real as long as this illusion exists. It's not that universe is going to vanish completely because you understood intellectually. Until the dawn of knowledge, that universe will be as universe, but in reality it is Brahman. So, it is not something you are creating or non-creating. That idea of this universe is only superimposed on Brahman. That is called realization. That's why Brahma Satyam Jagannath, the universe is an illusion like the snake, Jivo, Brahmaiva Navara. And the person, the individual soul, the consciousness in me is none other than the God. It's not God seated somewhere up. That universal Brahman, that Brahma, that reality is I am. I and my Father are one. I am in me, ye are in me, I am he, I am that I am. So that is the reality. This universe, this ultimate reality is beyond the reach of the limited intellect and the knowledge, unknowable world. Renunciation alone, that is the abandonment of all worldly attachment, lead to knowledge of the absolute. Just like light alone can remove that fear of the snake superimposed on the rope, nothing, any other explanation is no use. For a man who is dreaming, he saw in his dream a tiger. That dream tiger will be real. As long as dream continues, only one way we can make him about that fear, to get out of this fear by bringing him back to waking state. At that time, his fear will automatically disappear. Same way, this universe, the reality of this universe will disappear only when we see the absolute Brahman. So renunciation alone, that is the abandonment of all worldly attachment, can lead to this knowledge of absolute. This is achieved through a process of negation of all worldly desires, identification, qualification, and extensions. That which is left after complete abandonment is God. This is called negation, Vedantic negation. There are two ways to approach inquiry and negation. That means everything what we see must be negated. Anything you see, hear, taste, smell, understand is an object. And that is not reality. Only when you transcend this, then what is left after transcending. Example is, I am going to give a lecture to born blind people. These blind people are all PhDs. They know everything, all philosophy, science, etc. They are very intellectual. My subject is about color. Now, doesn't matter how intellectual they are, how educated they are, how scientific they are, their questions can be answered only by negation. If they are, color is something like when I eat my hot dog, that's called color? My answer will be no, maybe. What then if color is experienced when I touch a soft pillow, that kind of experience? My answer will be no. Scientifically explained, well, color is waves. There are 7 visible colors: violet, indigo, green, blue, yellow, orange, red. It's all various wavelengths. Well, still scientifically explained, still, oh, violet is a wavelength, green is another wavelength, but still they will not understand what color is. Though scientifically explained. Until they get their own vision, they will never understand the experience of colors. Same example, to a man who never tasted any form of sweet in his lifetime. He's got experience of every other taste. Basically, all the tastes are saltish, pungent, sweet, and hotter. And out of the sweet, he never tasted. My talk is about honey to them. And how much I explain to them honey, they will never understand what that sweet is. Scientifically explain why a sweet is made up of carbohydrates, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Still they will not understand what their experience of the honey or the sweet is. But a drop of honey on the tongue, instant realization. Same thing. With an ordinary experience, we can only discuss by negation. Anything they ask about the experience of the sweet, who never tasted any form of sweet, honey is like the tasting of a hot dog. My answer will be no, neti, 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 neti. So that's what negation. What is Brahman is, anything you know, anything you understand, it is not Brahman, neti, neti. So, this is achieved through the process of negation of all worldly desires, identifications with that objects, qualifications and extensions. Qualifications, this body, Swami Vishnu's male body, qualification, extension, it has got hands and feet, and the other titles like Swami Vishnu, the president, etc. These all must be negated. I am not Swami Vishnu, I am not a Hindu, I am not a male, I am not a female, I am not the senses, I am not reasoning, I am not the mechanism. And then what is left is God or Brahman. That's called negation. That which is left after complete abandonment of is God. Vedanta philosophy has a triple basis. Now it is not intellectual. This basis must come, all must coordinate. First in scriptures, second through reason, and finally experience. Experience is the only way then you get the final answer. If you want to know the honey is sweet, first you learn about it, you discuss about it, you analyze about it, and then finally taste it. So, Aham Brahmasmi is not just a theory and just leave it at that place. So, triple basis scriptures will give you explanation. Who am I? Where do I come from? What that was? That's what scriptural knowledge. But that is not sufficient. Okay, it's all the philosophy is in the book. You keep it there and worship it. That's not sufficient. Then you have to reason, analyze it. That's the purpose of learning, sitting near the teacher. You go on, use the intellect to find out what that Brahman is. You reason, your own reason. According to scriptures, you lay the technique, you reason every day with the help of the teacher. The reason becomes very, very clear and pure. Practical thing you are doing it, and intellectually you are making it very, very clear. And then one day, who am I? You realize, I am that I am. So three things, triple basis. So Vedanta is not an intellectual drive philosophy. It's based on these three basic things. Underline that. What are the triple? What are the scriptures? Reason and experience. Final experience. Although the basic authority is scriptural, this does not mean that Vedanta is a matter of blind, unthinking acceptance. No. Merely philosophy is plain in the scriptures, like Upanishads. But that is not a blind belief. Reasoning is necessary for intellectual understanding of the scriptures. That's why you sit with the teacher, you have doubts, the teacher will slowly clear the doubts by reasoning, using various analogies like the snake and the rope, etc. These type of various analogies are given to remove that ignorance intellectually by reasoning. And then after understanding, getting pure, complete understanding of the subject, Aham Brahmasmi, then he sits and meditates. It's not just merely, oh, Aham Brahmasmi, and walks away. He practices. Reasoning is necessary for intellectual understanding of the scriptures. The Vedanta uses logic to distinguish between the real and the unreal. And that is called that which is unreal. Because if you want to understand the absolute Brahman, you must know what's real and what's unreal. Real we cannot see, unreal we can see. Unreal is the body. Body was not there before. That's a truth, a reality. The definition of truth and reality, you must understand always. Next time, anytime when I ask, definition of truth or reality, that which never changes in 3 periods of time. Write it, note it. What is truth or reality? The truth or reality will never change in 3 periods of time. The 3 periods of time is past, present and future.
Example is a pot made out of clay. In the past, now it's a pot. Before it became a pot and a name and form came, what was it? Clay. Now it's a pot, but still it is what? Clay. Future pot breaks, still it will be. The clay remains the reality in 3 periods of time. That clay will never change. But what is changing is name and form. Name and form will change, but not the truth or reality. So that's the definition of reality or truth. So Vedanta analyzes the real and unreal. This body, where was it before it came into this, just like a pot? Where was this body before? Where was this body? It was in the food cycle, tomatoes and germs and worms and chickens and hot dogs and hamburgers. And so this was not there. And eventually this body will go back into the food cycle. So reality cannot be this truth, because I feel now I am Swami Vishnu, but this feeling I am Swami Vishnu, this body, won't last when I am dead and buried. But what is remaining reality is the consciousness without name and form. That clay remains the same, so the consciousness is the clay. I am before, I am now, I am in the future. That I consciousness remain all the same. That's called reality and reality. Vedanta finds out through this inquiry reasoning, where is this consciousness? What is reality? What is unreal? So the body is unreal because it came only, just like the pot, name and form of the pot came only temporary, but it is not created. The clay remains always the same. So consciousness is not created. Consciousness was there, consciousness now, and consciousness will be in the future. But the body, name and form will change. Vedanta uses logic to distinguish between the real and the unreal, and that is God's, that which is unreal, that is the body, name and form. Intellect can explain only the finite. After exhausting it through the process of discrimination and negation of all that is unreal, it too must be discarded when it reaches the point where all that left is the real. Now, intellect has been used all the time to find the real and unreal. But the intellect itself is unreal. So you cannot just realize and always, oh, I intellectually understood. But that's a finite intellectual understanding. So finally, you have to throw that intellect also. Then what is left? I am that I am. How do you experience through intellectually I am? Did Jesus said, I and my Father are one intellectually? If that is so, we all will be like Jesus. It's an experience. And was it a real experience or just it's a philosophy, intellectual philosophy? Jesus said, I and my Father are one. It's an intellectual philosophy or the real experience for him. I and my Father are one, I am in me, ye are in me, aham brahmasmi. Is it real or just an intellectual experience? If it is an intellectual thing, then what did they have done when he was crucified? They crucified real or unreal? They crucified him, they crucified his unreal body. So if his philosophy was wrong, his only intellectual experience he had, what did they have done at that time in the cross? How dare you can crucify me? I am going to destroy everybody with my power. That means he has not experienced that reality. But then he saw that oneness again. A simple emotional way expressed the feeling. How come that oneself shines, they can't see this oneself. They think that by crucifying this body, they think they are going to destroy me. But that self is immortal. And that self is in them. The very people who came to crucify this body is the same self which they are trying to crucify, but that same self is in them too. So that philosophy, Jesus, was not just an intellectual philosophy, it is a direct experience. That is the beauty of. So, like Jesus, etc., when they explain, they are not talking intellectually. But ordinary people, when they heard about, oh, I am God, oh, you are God too. We'll show you that you are not God. We'll put you on some stake on you and see what happens to you. Because that's the way only they understand it. So that's the difference between, that's why Christians are still going to make a mistake about Jesus' philosophy. No one understood, except the Eastern mystics, they understood the Jesus philosophy. I and my Father, because they know it is pure Vedanta, Jnana Yoga. But none of the Western people understood the true philosophy of Jesus. Though originally Vedanta was the Jnana Yoga was the true philosophy, even Judaism, you look into that Jesus was a Jew. That philosophy, I am that I am, is Jnana Yoga, pure. When they asked in the burning bush, Moses asked, who are you? What is your name? The answer was, I am that, no other qualification. All the name and form is taken off, just I am. If you say I am God means the two things, I and God. Even that qualification, that projection should be stopped. So that original philosophy and the true teaching of the Judaism, Jesus is actually a practitioner of the Judaism, and he experienced that I am my Father, one I am that I am, but people did not realize that. They think God is only somewhere up to punish them or to reward some people. That's the cause of all religious conflicts now. That's why man is suffering. So the true meaning of Vedanta can only bring world peace. At that time, love thy neighbor as thyself. That subject you see in all. So the true philosophy, in whether in any religion, look into that self-atman alone shines equally. Name and form are false. That's the true experience. So after exhausting it through the process of discrimination and negation of all that unreal, that is name and form, it too must be discarded when it reaches a point where all that left is real. I am that I am. The intellect is brought only to that certain extent. This intellect cannot go on forever inquiring who am I. You just sit and go on, find out who am I. I am not this body. Your body came from the earth. I am not this mind, it's an emotion. I am not the intellect, it's the reasoning. I am not the senses, it's all only my objects. And then after coming to that, then who am I? I am what is left. That is self. I am that I am. No more thought, no more inquiry. That intellect also is discarded because the intellect itself is a thought now. The intellect must be transcended. Otherwise, you will never reach the transcendental state. The intellect itself is removed. No more inquiry. After transcending that intellect, then I am. Just like example of another analogy is a thorn. You are walking on the forest alone, and in an abandoned area far away, you stepped over a big thorn. A big thorn has gone into your feet, into your foot. Now you cannot walk back until you remove the thorn. But there are no other first aid or anyone to help you to. So you just use, the best thing you can find is to remove the thorn, another thorn. Use the thorn to get that thorn off. Once you got the thorn, which has gone into your foot, now what you do with the thorn which is in your hand, which is remove the thorn, thank you thorn, you put in your pocket, you throw that also out. Both are as useless now. One which has gone into the foot, and one which saved the foot, which removed that one thorn, both are equal and useless. So you both discard. So intellect is used in the beginning to understand the self through this inquiry, and afterwards you throw that intellect also. No more inquiry, no more reading, no more only experience. I am. That's what Buddha did. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree. Nothing can change me now. When the world fall down, collapses, the entire universe will collapse. I will not move until I reach that realization. And there were temptations, and the world start going up and down, and the entire universe start collapsing. But he said, no, nothing will move me. I will stay until I reach that state. And then temptations came, beautiful things start coming, gentle breeze and beautiful dances and dance and music. I will not be disturbed by these temptations too. I will sit there until I realize that I am. I will not move from this state. We sat under the Bodhi tree. After years and years and years of searching everywhere. I thought he sat for so many years and years of training and discipline. He sat under the tree. Now I will not move. And then he passed that state and came to a vacuum, absolute stillness. I will not even be frightened by this. There is neither up or down. It's just a state of nowhere to hold on. No, I will not move at all. And then he passed from that state to that cosmic light came, called Buddha. Buddha means man who had the knowledge. The knowledge came. So here it is. So the story of whether Jesus or Buddha or Moses, etc., they all had that same oneness, experience of the oneness. Of course, there are people who have not reached the complete, there's a duality. Like Muhammad, etc., they did not reach completely the one. They were just like Bhakti Yogin, after one of the Swiss philosophy, that God is the creator. They can stay in that state also. That's called duality. But only a person who can transcend and reach absolute freedom, only when it reaches non-dual state of Vedanta. So others who worship God, etc., they feel that state of duality, where they feel the God is supreme. That is also state, but they cannot get complete liberation because they have been still bound by the duality. While the fact of self lies through the exhaustive intellectual inquiry and analogy, language is of service only in indicating the nature of the real. Intellectual knowledge and intellectual language, what we use, this type of talk is only useful, like the fawn, to use the other fawn. The final quote of appeal is intuitional experience. That's the final thing. That's the time. Jesus also experienced, but test came in the cross, whether he's going to see the same oneself or he's going to see there are enemies came to crucify him. So the final test will be there for this experience. Western philosophy tends to ignore direct intuition. It brings the intellect to the brink and abandon it there. That's what most of the Western philosophers, they analyze this, but they bring it and then just leave it at the intellectual level without having any direct experience. Just like explaining about the honey, giving all honey is sweet and honey is made up of this and honey can give you so much health and honey is revitalizing, everything you learned intellectually. And you know the carbohydrates and carbohydrates, oxygen, the value of the honey and how you can make various types of dishes out of honey. Everything intellectually you learned. But no experience of the sweet. So it is just that the Western philosophy always only brought the intellect to the very highest state and then left there. But East is not that. They take you to the very top and eventually they will allow you to experience. That's what in this course you are also going to do. You are not just going to merely accept this theory. In India also there are so many Vedantic philosophers and ashram that teach Vedanta. All the whole day and night, 12 years they will be learning this Vedanta philosophy. Intellectually, that's all. They by heart everything. All the Upanishads they can by heart. They can quote all the grammars and grammatically they make a mistake and so they can write. But no meditation nor any practice. Just live in intellectually. And that is not our Master Shivananda's teaching. He is a true Vedantin like Jesus, but also true Karma Yogin. He served the humanity and a true devotee, yet he had the direct experience, I am that I am. So he is a synthesis of yoga. He is a man who practices and he has experienced that oneness. When philosophy tends to ignore direct intuition, Western philosophy tends to ignore direct intuition. It brings the intellect to bring and abandon it there. Whereas Vedanta approaches self-realization with the intellect and then pushes on the final leap through intuition to direct experience. So intellect is brought to a certain level and then directly leap to direct experience through meditation. Some religions hold that the universe was created out of nothing by a fiat of God and will lapse again into nothing. That is some religious people say, oh, it came from nothing, nowhere. The universe was not here about 5 billion years ago. It came from nowhere. It will go away nowhere. That's not. Because nothing can out of somewhere, something. This must be in some form before it has, because things cannot be created or will disappear. Things will change its name and form. So this was in another state, unmanifested like atoms, energy. Now it is in the form of matter, again it will go back into energy. So it's not the universe had come from nowhere and disappeared to nowhere. It is not possible for something to come out of nothing. A tree, for example, is preceded by invisible energy in the form of a seed. So a seed is preceded from a tree. God did not create the universe from nothing. What would be the proper purpose? Nor did he do out of love for humanity, for there were no human beings at the time of creation. This is some of the arguments Vedantins ask. God has created this universe out of nothing. For what? What's the purpose? Oh yes, because he loved humanity. But then there was no humanity, first of all, to love. Then what purpose he created? Oh yes, to glorify him, the people will glorify him. But if he did not create, how can he glorify? That means he's like a supra-dictator. I make you, now you have to face me. Otherwise, I'm going to send you all to hell. That's not God. That is like another Hitler, man. He creates at his wish, because he's got the power, and everyone has to done to worship him. If not, he will send you. So Vedantins argue these type of things intellectually. No, God did not just create out of compassion or anything. He himself manifested as this universe. As long as the Maya exists, you see the God as. As long as the Maya exists, you see God as. Just like as long as the ignorance or darkness exists, you see the rope as. Always go back to that analogy, otherwise you will never understand the Vedanta, okay? That analogy. So, it's not that God created the snake there, the snake changed into, the rope changed into the experience of a snake, but not in reality. So, due to illusion. Say the universe changed into reality for us as world, that's because God himself changed this universe. So God and the universe are one. You and God are one. Due to ignorance I see, I am different from you, you are different from me, I am different from God. That's ignorance. When the light comes, who am I? Inquiry to bring you this intellectual experience, and directly to intuitive experience to say, I and my Father are one. I am in He, Ye are in me, I am He, so on. Vedanta approaches self-realization with intellect and then pushes on the final leap to intuition to direct experience. Some religions hold that the universe was created out of nothing but fear God and will lapse again into nothingness. It's not possible for something to come out of nothing. This is called Vedantin's argument. A tree, for example, is preceded by invisible energy in the form of a seed. Though in the seed you can't see the tree, but the tree is invisible. God did not create this universe from nothing. What would be the purpose? Nor did he do out of love for humanity, for there were no human beings at the time of creation. The law of the conservation of matter and the law of conservation of energy says that neither matter nor energy can be created nor destroyed, only its forms can be changed. So this energy, as in the form of matter, is not created. It was there before in the form of wave energy. Now it's changed into, and eventually it will go back into. So name and form will change, but matter can be never created nor destroyed. Or energy can be created or destroyed. The matter changes into energy changes into matter, one thing changes into another. That's called changing of the nature, but the matter itself is not created. So the universe exists in God, and God exists in the universe all the time. For all the practical purpose, it does not matter whether the world as we know is real or unreal. If a starving man sees the fruit created, he first analyze the tree and count the leaves before plucking the fruit. This is some other Vedanta. Suppose there are some people argue, oh, I must find out first of all intellectually before you can analyze all these things. I have to find out the answer then only. So the Vedanta, man, you are foolish. When you are hungry, you see an apple tree full of apples. Now what you will do? So let me see, what type of apple? What type of apple is that? What type of, coming from where? Where's the origin? Maybe it came from the Kashmir, maybe it looks like Indian apple. Well, if it's sweet, how many apples are there? How many leaves are there? How many branches are there? You analyze all these things, and what do? You just take it, eat it. Forget about analysis. So the practical purpose, this analysis doesn't need for a person who has gone, they can directly go and, but in the beginning, you can use this analysis, but that's not the end and aim of this inquiry, okay? So that's what Vedanta is thinking. They are very practical people. They are giving this analogy to make you understand. But don't worry about, you are suffering from hunger. What's hunger here? You lost yourself, and you are looking everywhere, like a mother lost a child, or a person who lost a valuable necklace. She's searching everywhere. But where is the necklace? On her own neck. She didn't say she was searching everywhere and crying for it, until she realized, oh, it is my own neck. Same way, the must be a searches for the musk, the smell coming from inside, but he thinks it must be there. Oh, it must come from this side. It must be. So he's running everywhere restlessly to find where the smell is coming, but it comes from within. So the happiness is within, but we think it must be in Las Vegas, it must be in Germany, it must be there, it must be here. So we are running here and there, is it not? You tell Shasha, go to New York City. Oh, no, there is no happiness. I want to be here. It is Raman, stay here. No, my happiness is in Germany. I must go back to there. So we run here and there, but the happiness is within. Kingdom of heaven is within. The truth is the same again. So if a starving man sees a fruit tree, we first analyze the tree and count its leaves before plucking the fruit. If a man catches his clothing on fire, will he ask himself, I wonder where this fire came. I was just, I saw my cloth is in fire now, and I ask, hey, where did this fire come? Who put this fire? Did you do that? Who did this mischief? What I do? I just put it out, but I don't ask. Question will come later on. You don't ask the question the same way. You are inside, you are suffering, pain and death. You are going on revolving, birth and death in thousands and thousands of years. World War II, 3, 4, children, wife, husband, knowing, married again, children, again, wife, again. You are repeating this again and again, and you are tired and want to escape. So you don't ask this question because you are burning. So you approach the teacher, please tell me what it is. So he says, stay where you are. Now go with him. That's all you have to do. Well, we are not reached that state, but anyhow, inquiry will help you, but don't just, because this inquiry is the cause for your self-realization, no. This is only as an intellectual approach is used, but still you have to approach the direct means, I am through intuition. Time and energy are wasted in useless intellectual speculation and discussion. Concepts lead to no final answer. One notion of God will not arise from reason. Now, your idea of that God exists is not by reason, because no one has seen God. Yet, in all of heart of heart, we know there is a supreme being, but we don't know where it is. So you have to find out that must be within us also. So our understanding of God does not come from reason. There are preconceptions. This idea of God is preconceptions, mere projections of somebody else's idea. One group's idea is different from those another group. Just as individual idea varies, Vedanta does not try to convert isms. It offers a technique for one to experience ultimate reality. They approach you first through intellectual inquiry and through direct realization. Because God is one, we all know. But you ask a Muslim to go and pray in a synagogue, and a Jew to go and pray in a mosque, and a Christian to go and pray in an Indian temple, they will, oh, my God, Christian God is not in the Hindu temple. And Hindus the same thing. My Hindu God is not in a Christian or Jewish temple. So a Muslim say, Allah is only possible to see in the mosque, nowhere else. But that is your idea conception. God is only for you. And your God has got fruit in the hand. Another God has got a cross. Another God is having a brick crown and with great power. Is your conception. It is not the God. So that conception must go. This is called isms. What is various religions? Why you are fighting and why you are following various religions? We forgot the reality and we followed dogmas and rituals. These rituals are a means to an end. It's not end itself. The Vedanta always points out, these rituals you can worship the God, you can offer flowers. In fact, I came, beginning I offered flowers. I did not just directly come and sat there. I offered flowers and I prostrated before the picture of the Master and the Lord Krishna. Symbolically it gave me strength because I cannot see the God within me. I saw, not only I saw, I also prostrated before you mentally, without saying, oh God, you gave me an opportunity to serve you. I'm going to sit here and teach what I can teach. You are the person who is going to hear. And you are going to the person who teaches. One and the same, there's no difference. But I think I am going to teach, and you think you are going to hear. Both are illusion. So that is, so the Vedanta from the very beginning, you become humble. You don't think, oh, I'm a great teacher, you are a stupid idiot. The same self in you, the same knowledge is within you, the same knowledge, same God is here. So God acts as a listener and God acts as a teacher or a preacher, whatever you want to call it. So God also speaks in the Abhishekam when you do Rudra Abhishekam to Lord Shiva. Oh God, you are the Master of God, you are King of Kings, you are Emperor of Emperors, you are the Angel of Angels. And then he offers also, oh God, you are thief of thief, I salute you. The greatest thief, you are also thief. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, he said, I am Arjuna, I am this, I am that, I am the great heaven, and this and that, and then I am the gambling of all the gamblers. And gambling too. So in that ultimate state, you don't see up or down, great or small, a sinner or virtuous person. It's all one. That is called Vedanta. So Vedanta is not trying to create divisions and trying to create these problems of human. That's philosophy. No, man, you are not different beyond that. Love thy neighbor as thyself. They show practically how to see this self, oneself everywhere. So we are not trying to change anybody into any ism. You can worship any God, any form you want. That's your conception. But ultimately the God is one. God shines equally everywhere in everything. So Vedanta does not try to convert isms. It offers a technique for one to experience ultimate reality. They are approaching first through intellectual inquiry and then through direct realization. I am that I am. Although the question one runs into during the quest for spiritual fulfillment cannot be appropriately answered through the intellect, nonetheless, inquiry as opposed to discussion or debate is necessary to lead true spiritual seekers along the path. Now there is inquiry and also discussion or debate. They are not one and the same. Inquiry is to find the truth. Discussion or debate is and also egoistic. I know more than you know. And I know. Now I want to find out how much you know. And you see, your know is like my know, or little different. If it's different, you do not know. Because I only know. And whatever you know is wrong. And so my debate and discussion is only to prove that you are and I am always right. Remember that word. I am always right. Never make any mistake. You are always wrong. That's called discussion and debate. That's why about God they are discussing. Christians and Catholics and Protestants, Hindus and Muslims and Arabs and Jews. They are fighting because they are debating whose God is superior and whose God is going to beat up the opponent God, That's called debate and discussion. But inquiry is different. Vedantic inquiry is not debate or discussion, but use a pure reason to find out what is reality and what is in reality by slowly removing all the non-essential and unreal thing in the name and form, and what is left will be the reality. That is true. So that's the difference between inquiry and discussion and debate. Here we are not going to debate because I am right. Thank you. You are catching it very easily. If the mind is open and free from prejudice and preconceived ideas, inquiry will eventually lead to direct knowledge. See, these are the qualifications for inquiry. The mind is open and free from prejudice. That means if I already came, oh, I am a Hindu, I want all Christians and Jewish people must change to my way of life. There is no truth in Christianity. There is no truth in Judaism. There is no truth in any religion. Only Vedanta is the only answer. If that is the idea I came to teach you, I am not eligible to teach Vedanta. Not if you came with that idea, you are also not eligible to learn. So this preconceived idea of God, religion, social status, great, small, sinner, great, Rishi, Maharshi, Swami, disciples, chelas, all this, there is no difference, they're all one. Lord Rama, when he was young prince, he went to Vasishtha, his royal teacher, Vedanta philosophy. That is the Yoga Vasishtha. Is absolutely, that I think there's no other philosophy, absolute pure non-dualistic philosophy. If you read that Yoga Vasishtha, you all will go in the wrong direction. No one will practice anything afterwards. Vasishtha, they will condemn everything. Asana, pray should not do anything, no action, nothing, just keep quiet and so forth. And then the philosophers so intensely, this type of intellectual drive, at the end, Vasishtha, after several months, he was instructing like this philosophy. He ended with the final to Rama. Rama, you never heard anything, nor I said anything. That is also an illusion. What you heard is an illusion. What you said, I am here, Vasishtha, is also an illusion. You never heard anything, I said anything. Please don't take that philosophy because we are not ready. That is the ultimate, in the seventh Surya, in the seventh Bhumika, you can say that, okay? We are not in the seventh Bhumika, we are which Bhumika? In the food Bhumika, in the ice cream pizza Bhumika, okay? So if the inquiry is done with preconceived notions and prejudices, because accepting God is one, the truth is that every religion, whether it's Judaism or Christianity, that they all said there's only one God. That God cannot be different from Christians and from Hindus, etc. So this idea is removed, that is, and one religion is superior, another religion is inferior, I am great, you are small, we are one. Once you know that, with that pure intellect reason, you take this inquiry, it will bring you illumination in this very life, properly practiced. The veil of illusion. Brahman, absolute consciousness, has neither name nor form. That's supreme Brahman. That's what Brahman. And Brahma, you already know the difference between Brahma, the creator, Brahman, the absolute consciousness, has neither name nor form. It's infinite, unqualified, and undifferentiated. In Raja Yoga, it's called Purusha. Here it's called Atman. In Jnana Yoga, it's called Atman. Atman or Brahman and Purusha are one and the same. Just as moonlight actually reflects sunlight, so also the manifest world, Maya, is a reflection of Brahman. Reflected through Maya or Prakriti in Raja Yoga, Brahman takes on qualities and is called Ishvara or God. So two words coming, Brahman and Ishvara now. Brahman is unqualified, unmanifest, supreme being. But when it is passed through Maya, his own creative power, it has got qualities. An example is sunlight. You take the sunlight and pass it through a prism. What happens? Now it is divided into 7 colors. Of course there are invisible colors also, but 7: violet, indigo, green, blue, yellow, orange, red. Visible. Same way the Brahman, when is projected through qualities, Maya, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, that's the prism. Maya is the prism. When it's projected through the Maya, then it appears to have qualities, like the colors. And when there's quality, when it's projected through the Maya, that Brahman is called Ishvara or God. That's what we call God. So what is the difference between God, Ishvara and Brahman? Brahman is just like pure light, which has no qualities. But when that Brahman starts manifesting through the Prakriti, then it takes colors. And that's called Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, 3 trinities. The trinities are nothing but Brahma. But when it's projected through the Maya, through Sattva, then it becomes Vishnu. Through Rajas, becomes Brahma, the creator. Through Tamas, that is Shiva, who destroys. So these are the 3 basic qualities of the same Brahman. So Brahman and Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are not different. It's depending upon you are seeing through a prism or you are seeing without a prism. If you see without the prism, it's unqualified Brahman. If you are seeing with the prism like nature, it's called Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, or we call it God. Maya then is the veiling power of Brahman. It creates the idea of limitation and illusion that the world is different from the Brahman. An empty glass creates the idea of a space within defined boundaries, but when it breaks, the illusion disappears, the self-realization, the world illusion disappears, and all is experienced directly as an unchanging, unlimited Brahman. Here the illustration is given about the glass. that vessel creates the illusion, the glass, the space inside, space outside are different. When the glass breaks, the illusion has gone. It's not the space inside that out become one. Only your idea has gone. Same way. At present the God is different. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Christian God, Jewish God and Hindu God, all different. This idea is an illusion. And once the self-realization comes, you see there's only one God, the illusion vanishes. It's not God changed into anything, your illusion has gone, like the space become one. The difference between the individual soul and the Brahman is only apparent. That's the fundamental philosophy of Vedanta. Man is God. It's also told by one Western poet, at Immersion. Immersion said, man is God playing fool. That's what we're all playing fool, isn't it? Because I'm playing the fool. I'm thinking I'm here. Without that I don't feel I'm great, you see. We're all, the man is God playing fool in a simple, poetic way, he said. But the truth is, there is no different man and God. That's the fundamental philosophy between the, in Vedanta and the other yoga. The difference between the individual soul and the Brahman is only apparent. Just like the glass. Give me that water, please. The space, inside the space, outside, apparently different. But when the glass breaks, this illusion has gone. This only apparent, this reality, but there's only one space. I'm not changing the space, I'm moving the space because I move the glass. I mean, moving the space is always the same. So the illusion goes when the glass breaks, the illusion goes. So also when you get self-realization, the illusion, I am the body, that's only gone. The individual soul is Brahman and veiled by the illusion of body and mind. As long as the man accepts only the manifest world of Maya, he is caught in meshes and bound in karma. Yet it is only an apparent blindness. No one is ever bound in reality. If you are bound, if you feel that you are experiencing pain or whatever it is, it's only apparent, like in a dream. A dream tiger, a dream pizza, dream ice cream is only illusion, but not during the dream, only when you wake up. So also, this world appears to be real because we have a cosmic dream created by the cosmic Maya, the cosmic Hitchcock. See, in the ordinary Hitchcock can create so much confusion and pain and a horrible sensation to you. How much the Maya Hitchcock can do? So, as long as we are in this dream, this world appears to be real, but it's an apparent. No one is a sinner, no one is a saint. That's the beauty of yoga. From the very beginning, there is no sinner at all. If you are experiencing a sinner, it is you are identifying with that particular quality. It's like a crystal. A pure crystal is brought near a blue color, it will reflect blue. If you bring a red color, it will reflect. If you bring a black color, it will reflect black. But the crystal itself is not tainted by the color change. So you just bring a red and the change next to blue, it will change to blue. But it's not permanently changed to blue or red, it is always still pure. Same way yourself, whether a sinner or saint, it always shines equally. But we are identifying with the body, foot sheet, then it will reflect the color of the foot sheet. Then you become a man, great beach boy. If you are going to reflect through the pranamaya sharira, that's the vital sheet, oh, I'm a great psychic. Because you are reflecting the psychic type of wavelength. If you are going to identify the emotional sheet, oh, I love you, honey, I do everything for you, I sacrifice the whole world. Like look at the King of England, sacrificed the whole kingdom for a woman. Ah, you say, oh, what a sacrifice, what a love. Then he is identifying with the reflection of the emotional sheet. And intellectual sheet, oh yes, I am Einstein, E equal to MC squared, understood. Oh my God, that's very great. So that identifies intellectual sheet. Bliss sheet, oh yes, I am a virtuous man, good man. Oh, I know enough, no harm at all to anybody. I am so humble, so good. So even that is an illusion. That you are reflecting the bliss sheet color of that one. So, we are bringing the crystal is brought to a white light, identify, I am a saint, I am a good man, I am a virtuous man, that itself is a color. So you must transcend all the colors and reach absolute pure Brahman. So yourself is just like a crystal. It's not painted by any colors. Another example is the movie screen. The movie screen, the silver white screen, always remains the same. Doesn't matter what you project, there will be thunderstorms. And that thunderstorm will not bend the screen. Nor there fire, huge fire. Fire will not burn. Even if there's an atom bomb, it won't explode. That white screen is remaining unattached to all this phenomena. Same yourself, doesn't matter how good or bad, it remains exactly the same. So there is no high or low, sinful person or saintly person, all one in your Vedanta. As long as man accepts only the manifest world of Maya, he is caught in the meshes of bound in karma and bound in karma. It is only an apparent binding, but the self cannot be bound by anything. Like the sky is eternally free, however overlaid with various phenomena, just as a motion picture screen is overlaid with the light and shadow that play over its surface. Floods, fires, murders, love and death all take place in the shadow play, but they in no way affect the underlying screen, that is the movie ensemble. At the screen, I, the consciousness, is subject to manifold illusions. I am a painter, I am an actor, I am a Catholic, I am a Protestant, etc. These names and forms are only illusions superimposed on the self and change from lifetime to lifetime, and sometimes within a lifetime. Because this time you are a Christian, next time you will be a Muslim, next time you can be a Catholic, next time you can change into a Swami. So this type of things changes, is all name and form. They disappear in the light of self-realization, just as the shadows vanish from the screen the moment the light switches on. When the realization takes place, man is wrapped in avidya, ignorance. Ignorance or nescience. Avidya is a multi-layered veil that lies over knowledge of the self, with the only true knowledge. Ignorance is erroneous identification of the one's own limiting adjuncts. You will again explain limiting adjuncts like the glass. This is what you will be learning soon. And right now to start learning that. Often it is going to come here. Limiting adjuncts. Or upadhi. Write the Sanskrit word. Upadhi. U-U-P-A-D-H-I. U-P-A-D-H-I. Upadhi. Say the word. Limiting adjuncts. Limiting adjuncts. Spell the word A-D-J-U-C-N-T-S. Adjuncts. See, this glass is a upadhi. What is, it separates the space from outside and from inside. But this apparition is apparent or real? That word is very important, apparent. But still, in practical purpose, this upadhi creates problem. One vessel is big, another vessel is small. But in reality, this separation is this illusion. So upadhi, your body and mind are the upadhi